While many folks are gearing up for the big game, Buffalo Wild Wings has teamed up with the Boys and Girls Club of America to launch an initiative to help more kids understand team play and sportsmanship. And who better to tell us more than Desmond Howard? Welcome to the Morning Blend, Desmond.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, Packers fans would kill me if I didn't ask you how you're feeling that almost 16 years to the date today, you were at the Super Bowl and you were MVP. So for you, I just kind of want to know how you're feeling about that. You still hold the record for 99 yards.
Yeah, you know, I get goosebumps because it happened right behind me, in that Superdome behind me. So this is actually a special place for me. We always have a special place in my heart. And it was, you know, I was part of a tremendous team. And it was great to bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Green Bay. So it was a heck of an honor to be, you know, on that team.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get to part of the initiative you're working with, Donald Driver retired. He announced he's retiring. And just wanted to get your thoughts on that. You played with him in the 99 year.
Yeah, Donald Driver was a teammate of mine. He was a young pup back then, but, you know, he went on to do great things. I think that you know, what I like about Donald Driver, he was such a class act. I think he represented himself, his family, and the organization very well. And, you know, best of luck to Donald and whatever he chooses to do in his post-football career.
Absolutely. Well, it's nice to get those words from you. You know, it's great that you're teaming up with Buffalo Wild Wings and the Boys and Girls Club of America to kind of promote this sportsmanship. What does it mean to you, and what's the initiative about?
Well, it means a lot to me because, you know, I'm a young man who benefited from team sports at a young age. And I think you know, as a young man, as a kid, you don't understand the life lessons that you're learning. But when you're involved in team sports, it teaches you, you know, like I said, sportsmanship, the value of teamwork. It helps build your self-esteem. You learn how to set goals and accomplish goals and things of that nature. So the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and Buffalo Wild Wings, they're going to create 1,600 tackle and flag football teams to clubs throughout the country, so these kids can have the same opportunities that we had growing up, learning on the field and learning life lessons, but at the same time having fun doing it.
I think that's great. I'm a big believer, too, that sports just teach so much character to kids. You learn how to win, you learn how to lose, you learn teamwork, all those great lessons that we can learn through playing on a team in sports through all levels, like you mentioned, high school through pro. I know you kind of do some talking for ESPN and all that. So do you have some of your 5 best calls throughout this last season of the football year?
Oh, it's so hard because you have so many, especially when you consider you have high school, college, and the NFL. But like one that jumps out at me right now, I think about is a high school example, a young lady with special needs. She was being bullied in high school, and the football team, they just took it upon themselves. No one asked them to do it. They just took her under their wing. When they were eating lunch, they would make sure she sat at their table and ate in the cafeteria with them. Or when she was going from class to class, they would make sure at least 1 or 2 football players would walk the hallways with her to make sure she got to class okay. And then the bullying stopped. And that's just great sportsmanship off the field. And these kids, they didn't have to do it. So that's tremendous to see that these football players took the initiative and showed that type of sportsmanship at school.
I love that story, and I think bullying is such an important topic that's addressed today, and for team members to stand up for her like that and take the initiative, like you mentioned, to walk her through the halls, eat with her at lunch, that just shows a lot of character.
It really does, and I have to give them a lot of credit for doing that.
Do you have any other favorites from this year? I know you really announced on collegiate football. Is there anything that really stands out from you?
Oh, I have a bunch of them. I don't know how much time you have. One was Marcus Lattimore, a fine tailback from South Carolina. He suffered a gruesome knee injury in the game against Tennessee. As he laid on the field, you know, the players, they had so much respect for Marcus Lattimore, the Tennessee players, that they came and they huddled around him and they stayed around him until he was carted off the field. You just don't see that type of sportsmanship, those signs of sportsmanship every day from teams. So it was great to see Tennessee just sit there and support that young man after such a gruesome knee injury.
I love that one, too. Who's your pick for the big game?
Wow, that's a tough one. I think the key to the game, it really is, because the teams are so evenly matched, but because the 49ers quarterback is so young, doesn't have a lot of games under his belt, not even a dozen starts, I think that it's going to be up to the Baltimore Ravens defense. If they can devise some schemes or some blitzes to make this quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, uncomfortable, maybe even turn the ball over, I think the Ravens will win the game.
Do you think anybody's going to break your 99-yard record?
Because of the new rules in football, I think most of the kicks will go out of the end zone, so they won't even get a chance to break the record.
Yeah, I bet you love that. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us here in Wisconsin. We love you. You're always in our hearts here with the Packers.
Thanks. I love you guys, too.
Absolutely. And I want to make sure everybody has the information that you can go to BuffaloWildWings.com to learn more, or DesmondHoward.com to find out what he's up to these days.